Mr. Excel podcast is sponsored by Easy Excel. Our Excel from Mr. Excel podcast, episode 1696, is date in 13-17 space May. Well, today's question sent in by Noel. Sometimes I think people make this stuff up. I mean, initially I saw this and I'm like, Noel, no way, this is going to be impossible. But Noel swears that she didn't set the data up this way. She's getting the data from someone else. Here's the problem. We have a target range, 13-17 space May, and we're supposed to tell if this date is in that target range. If it's in the target range, we color the cell green. If it's less than the target range, show the cell as red and the number of days before, so from May 13th back to April 9th. If the date is greater than the target, show the cell as blue and the number of days after. All right, so I'm starting to think through this, and then I see this cell right here, this one, 29-3 space May. What does that mean? That's April 29 through May 3rd. Who's the genius over in IT who took the time to format something like this? I wondered. All right, so I started out heading down this path. The compare to, we'll just copy that date over, and then we need to figure out where the dash is here, because it's not always in the third position. Sometimes it's in the second position. So where's the dash? So equal find the dash in A2. Now that I know where that dash is, I want to start at the position just after that and get the rest of the characters, which will get me the ending date as text. So the mid of A2, D2 plus 1 is where the start. I just grabbed 50 characters just because I'm lazy. I didn't want to use the length, but then I have to use the trim to get rid of the extra spaces. Or maybe I don't. Well, I did. Okay. Then ending date is a date. So we take this text, 17 space May, append it with a space and the year of today, throw that whole thing through the date value, and now I finally have the ending date. All right, now, if it wasn't for 29-3 space May, I wouldn't have to do these whole next steps. The day of the ending date, so equal day of F2. The day of the beginning date is going to be the left of A2, this number minus 1, and we're going to have to add 0 to that to convert it to a date. So left of A2, D2 minus 1. And then check and see if it's the strange one where the beginning day is greater than the ending day. All right, so our beginning date is, we're going to use the date function. The year of F2, I could have used the year of today. The month of F2, but if this is true, then we need to subtract 1 from it to get back to the previous month, otherwise 0. And then finally, the day portion is what's stored here in H2. So all of these steps just to get my ending date and my beginning date. All right, then we want to have, remember, green, red, and blue. So I'm not sure that this is the best way to go, but it's what I did. If C2 is less than J2, then subtract them. That way I'm going to get a negative number. And then over here, if it's greater, then subtract them again. But this time I'm subtracting from the ending date. That way I can see how far beyond the target. And then just simply add these up. So negative numbers are going to be red. Positive numbers are going to be blue. Numbers that are 0, so neither of those are true, then we know that we're within our range. So the conditional formatting here, Alt-OD, if cell value is greater than 0, use blue. If cell value is less than 0, use red. Before I applied that, I turned everything green. And then finally, to get the zeros to not even appear, Control-1, custom number format of 0, minus 0. I actually bet Noel wants to take that minus sign out, but I put it in just so I could see that it's working. And then 2 semicolons to hide the zeros. All right, now, so good news. Hey, it can be done without having to go back to the people who did this and make them redo it. Because, you know, those IT folks, they're busy. They'll say it'll take 4 weeks just to get us an estimate and then 4 months to get the thing done. If your IT department's like my IT department. All right, so we have this whole thing. Now, the scary thing is when Noel sent me the spreadsheet, I think that she wants to do this in 4 different columns. She has 4 different sets of dates and compare dates. So, you know, this is going to be really, really ugly. And I actually sent this to Noel with an apology. Wow, this is really ugly. And then I started to think about it. You know, these dates over here, 13-17-May. So I looked at the ending date minus the beginning date. And it turns out that in every single case it's 4. So these are weeks. This is a week range here. It's Monday to Friday. That actually simplifies things a lot. We get our ending date as text, ending date as a date, and then the beginning date is really simple. It's just E2 minus 4. So if it's true that these are always going to be Monday through Friday dates, well, yeah, then hey, this is just a tiny, tiny bit simpler with our result there. I combine those two if statements, just add them together, and we get our result. What an ugly, horrible problem. And if it wasn't for the fact that Noel was forced to solve this problem because someone in IT was giving her really strange data as the input, I would have just laughed this off as a cruel joke, right? I mean, just seeing if you can make my head explode. But here we go. The answer, and I'm sure we could work to combine all of these formulas into a single formula here. All right, well, hey, I want to thank Noel for sending that question in. I want to thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.